Okay, so today I'm watching the ball game, just taking it easy at the house. Some laundry in. DCB, whatever. Working on the mask app, the big universal field theory that goes with it. Obviously, I love my little mask apps for the mill, and I'm always working the local militia. That's right, Pooh, and I'm looking for you too. Puddin'. I'm Marshmallow, he's Puddin'. It's a Dragon's Note for D&D, what builds the attack, defensive, luck, charm. They're all they're all frames inside the adjusted number 2 of physics. So, again, for me, I'm always looking for military. Every once in a while you hear it coming in. Why don't you do that, this, that, or the other? Say reasons. For a civilian, it's always negotiable in a public venue until you sign X's, which determines the FMA gravity to be correct in that form. As soon as you talk to the recruiter, you are equal civilians, and there's quid pro quo for the civilian marketing on the timeline of what you're about to do, for how long you're about to do it, given what standards and brackets you're going to come across. Whether that be Air Force's high testing standards or the Marines drill units and push and COVID adjusting into any of that nowadays, that makes that different. How those standards under the curve, hedging, big stuff to help push it through, working the crank that you do, is always going to go to the local militia. Again, Hancock is my net here. If that's the guard, or if that's just army coming into topography from that horizon and that momentum, given Heisenberg's uncertainty, I have to have all those frames mapped to be able to Higgs that, have a Higgs constant or Hubble's constant for the redshift differential and costs and systems for what that stuff does. Then basically, you're still doing inventory. You're still just sandpaper, glue in the woodworking factory making cabinets. It's just higher orders of what that does, and kind of the offset on who's doing what in there. Basically, I should be able to hand off any one of your jobs for minimum effort at the top end. You have an opportunity inside here to run those tread sets, cut off N1 half to the day-night cycle. Basically, you're going to have some rotation of an 8 24-hour cycle, right? And whether you go 10s or 7s or whatever offsets the n plus 1 or 1 plus n parentheses over 2, the half on that there says day or night cycle, pretty much breaks that down. 0 1 red shifted, blue shifted, which operation in there towards the mass gap, whether it be thermal and rock or whatever on the top, does that. And I love that number. In the mill, when I know I'm thermaler and I'm supposed to thermaler, there's a proper track to the mastoral function of what that is, and it takes a certain amount of time and test systems, the behavioral, fundamental, failure, sexual, bipolar, manic, wave collapse, all kinds of different frames that do the same exact mechanics and Turo universe underneath that first heading at X and Y 0 1 that limits that function to your function in the incident report saying this happened, the turbulent flow, up and down, hedging under the curve. I'm going to save that point, put it on this next one over here, be able to graph that, track that as the guy thermaling on the floor to recognize while I'm in my G suit hitting a stick, all the inch and sticks that you need by the same wiggly squiggly line principle in the universe, but how we define what that physics is here. Me talking to the militia. Hancock got sideways for something, fire, blew up, blood, emergency response, fire technician, anything in the Joint Chief Staff, military dictionary of terms. You go Air Force, MOB, or you can go engineer crew, YBOC, and superconducting 1, 2, 3 processes for the molar ratio of the system. The best has the best composition of the magnetic flow, the connections and tone and frequency of the level of the crap you're dealing with on that mill floor, on the deck. Don't care. It is your aircraft at that moment. They all seem very happy watching Major League. Does not matter. J.D. Davis leads it off in the 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. J.D. Davis leads it off in the 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along here on TBS. 6th. We are zipping right along in that, you know, again, a lot of on time, off time is somebody who's come to the recognition on their own of somebody, the tomb of the unknown stonemason hitting the saws and be able to recognize, hey, little girl in here, look, the shit don't fly. Steel toe boots. Yeah, have your inch and stick ready, your crane. It's your lunch. That's your lunch right there. You're marking rock, man. That's sign them in there. That's, you know, if you huge hours of days, not because rock's mislabeled or not coming on the saw right, or you're missing the reeds on the front edge so the sawyer can just fucking pop it. You know, that's millions. That's definitely your rabbit right there. AU, air turbulence equation, smooth it out. There's your physics class on the force bars of the flow, the air tunnel you're dealing with, hadron collider, little doom slayer jumping in the railgun. Checkpoint, you know, this wall you hit, that wall you hit, felt like metal all the way down. Lucy, all you know is this in pain. Catch you on the next one.